Jo is back, and I'm about to drop some knowledge as usual. Hopefully, some of you listen and pay attention. So, why is our brain the target? Growing up, I experienced a lot of turmoil and a lot of sadness and despair. You guys have no idea. I know that I do not look like my struggles, but God knows that I really struggled really, really hard. And it took me a lot of willpower and courage and determination to get to this point. And this is not even the final version of Jo, okay? So, once I got older, I got sick and tired, being sick and tired, and I looked into healing myself. I even went to the 12-step program for codependency, right? Anywho, so I found the healing journey, and then I was advised to study the brain, right? And then I realized that we are all running through programming. When you're born and you are assigned to your family, whether for better or worse, what you see in your environment is your programming. Now, it depends, like I said, whether that programming is healthy or unhealthy, right? For example, TB programming is called that way because it's functioning is to program you, right? The brain also programs you, and it's like a sponge, right? The sponge absorbs water. So your brain is absorbing information that it gets from its environment. If you have a child and you continuously tell the child, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, through that repetition, that child is going to take that information through their brain, and the brain is going to make that child behave in ways that would reinforce that they're ugly, because that's what they're being told. So that child is not going to behave in a way that is for their best interest, because they're being told that they're ugly and that they're bad, and that's their programming. The same way with society. For centuries, we have all are victims of programming. Some of us receive healthy, some of us receive unhealthy programming. So the reason why I'm talking about that is because millions and billions of dollars is spent every year on advertisement, right? To target you, because a man or woman that knows their inner motivation, that has sat down for years to fully understand why they do what they do, is a man and is a woman that is not easily programmable. If you do not know who you are, if you don't know what makes you tick, what triggers you, what pushes you to do what you do, then anyone could just come in. And when I say anyone, I'm not just talking about government agencies or institutions. I'm talking about any other random human being can just come in, and if you lack discernment and you don't know who you are, then anyone could just program you. This is how people get into cults and, whether it's religious or gangs or things of that nature. Because a lot of the young men or women that are in gangs is because they receive a certain programming of lack of love, not fitting in their families, and so they're seeking to fill that void, and so they would join a gang. So apply this information to every aspect of society, but the programming that you first receive in your life, it starts from your family unit, and then express out through the school system, your work environment, your relationships with other people. And this is why it's absolutely important to understand why you do what you do, because it's not your legs that are running your life, it's your brain. The brain is also responsible for regulating emotions. There's actually parts of the brain that shrink or enlarge themselves depending on what input they receive from their environment. Take it as a shark. If you put a shark in a tank, the shark is not going to fully grow the way that it could. Now, if you leave that shark in the ocean, that shark is going to grow to its maximum potential. So the human race has not fully evolved into their full potential, because a lot of us are running 90% subconscious programming, and only on 10% conscious programming. Everything else, meaning, is autopilot, meaning you don't even think about it and you're completely unaware of why you're doing what you're doing. So hopefully this information helps you understand why the world is the way that it is. But again, it starts with you from your own family unit. So I hope that helps.